Man, we have been waiting for this for a long time, like a really long time. It feels like forever. It was a year ago when Google first announced Google Stadia. And, I saw it and I said, this is going to be something big. This is going to be something very, very big. So I'm going to make a podcast all about it. And that's called Stadia Cast. If you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, you can find it wherever podcasts are downloaded, or you can go to anchor.fm/StadiaCast and subscribe right now. That's why this YouTube channel started, because we were going to record our shows live, and they kind of took off after we had John Justice, VP at Google, on the show to talk about Stadia. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for there to no longer be a $130 obstacle in people's way in order to try out Stadia. Well, the wait is over today. No fanfare ahead of time. There was no, hey, everybody, this is going to happen in a couple weeks. Today, Google announced that we will start being able to use Stadia Pro for free for a couple of months. So if that sounds awesome, and if you like the idea of having a place where you can come and check out all of the news about Google Stadia, then right here's the place to go. Click that like button, click subscribe, and click the bell. Let's get started, and let's take a look at the actual post from Google. This comes to us from Phil Harrison. He is the vice president and general manager over at Google Stadia. He's the tall dude in the white room that all of the logos flew past when Google Stadia was announced. Here's what he has to say. We're facing some of the most challenging times in recent memory. Keeping social distancing is vital, but staying home for long periods of time can be difficult and feel isolating. Absolutely. Video games can be a valuable way to socialize with friends and family when you're stuck at home. And he's right about that. In fact, right here off on the side, I've had this is my Discord chat, which you can join over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And there's like 1,200 people in here having conversations right now. And it's awesome. Make sure that you join runjumpstomp.com/Discord. So, yes, socializing with friends online is awesome. Being able to play games with them is even more awesome. So that's why today, according to this post, Google is giving gamers in 14 countries free access to Google Stadia for 2 months. This is starting today and rolling out over the next 48 hours. So it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get to everybody, which is perfectly understandable. It says here, anyone who signs up will get 2 free months of Stadia Pro with instant access to 9 games, including Grid, Destiny 2, The Collection, and Thumper. All right, well, actually, let's go through the Pro games that you can get right now. So I'm logged into Stadia right here, and I'm going to go to the store. And let's get the store loaded up. And here's the Stadia Pro games that you have access to right now. Now, I have access to more Pro games than you would if you hadn't joined yet. So some of these are not accessible now. Wait, no, okay, they're not listing the games that are not accessible. So we've got Thumper, SteamWorld Quest, SteamWorld Dig 2, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, Spitlings, Serious Sam Collection, Guilt, Grid, and Destiny 2. And if I'm just going to give you recommendations for games that you should start with when you play Stadia for the first time, Guilt is amazing. Check out the link in the description down below for my review of Guilt. Spitlings is hilarious fun to play online multiplayer or co-op multiplayer if you have more than one controller. But Spitlings is really, really fun. Again, there will be a link in the description down below to my first look at Spitlings with my co-host Lloyd. We were playing it together and laughing a whole bunch. But those are my recommendations that you start out with. And then if you're looking for a shooter, Destiny 2 is amazing. Let's go back to the actual statement from Google. You can purchase even more games on the store, which will remain yours to play even if you cancel your Stadia Pro subscription. So for those of you who are just learning about Stadia now, let me make sure that I explain this. When you claim these games on Stadia Pro, You will continue to have access to these games as long as you are subscribed to Stadia Pro, which is $10 a month. Now, that $10 a month is not a thing for 2 months, so you'll be able to play these games for 2 months, which is awesome. Why wouldn't you try it out? Okay. After those 2 months, if you decide not to to do your subscription again, you would lose access to these games. However, if you went to the store and you bought, say, Red Dead Redemption 2, which you can get the Ultimate Edition, currently it's on sale for pro subscribers, down from $100 down to $60. So if you ended up picking up Red Dead Redemption 2 on Google Stadia, paid money for it, you would have access to that game whether or not you remained a pro subscriber, either way. So just so that you know about that. All right. If you've already paid, this is really cool. If you've already paid for Stadia Pro, if you are already a paid Stadia Pro subscriber, we won't charge you for the next 2 months. After that, Stadia Pro is $9.99 a month, but you can opt out of your subscription at any time. I love this. This just saved me $40 because I have a subscription to this. My son has a subscription to this. So we're saving $40 by not subscribing for 2 months for both of us. That's awesome. I'm very happy about this. This is great. A lot of times that when they bring out these new deals, they'll only benefit the people who are not already subscribers. So I think it's awesome that they're doing this. All right. If you're new to playing on Stadia, it's simple. Here's how you sign up. You go to stadia.com to sign up. You can download the Stadia app on your Android device or your iPhone, whichever one you want. Just to keep in mind, you can only play Stadia on certain phones, no iPhones yet, and only certain Android phones. Well, I'll talk about that in just a second. You can play on your laptop, desktop, Chrome OS with your favorite controller. All right, so if you got a USB controller like an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller and you hook that up to your computer, you can then play any of those pro games that I was talking about or any games that you end up purchasing, which is fantastic. All right, now, if you are one of the people who have a supported Android phone, and these are the supported Android phones, I'm not going to read them off. You can just pause the video and look for your phone on there. I don't have an Android phone. I just use the app to tell my TV that I want to play a game on it. So if I want to play Doom, I bring up my Stadia app and Doom comes up on the screen, and then I say play on this Chromecast, and then I can start playing it there. And then if I decide I wanted to move to a different room, then I just grab my phone and I say go play on the other TV. It works great. But it's currently not supported on phones. I've never played it on a phone or iPhones. I've never played it on the phone. I know that there are many in the community who play it on the phone on a regular basis and they love it, and that's awesome for them. All right. So if your phone's on here, then there you go. Congratulations. Moving on. He says, with increased demand due to more people at home during this time, we are taking a responsible approach to internet traffic. For Stadia, we've always adjusted bandwidth use based on a variety of in-home and local internet factors. To reduce the load on the internet further, we're working toward a temporary feature that changes the default screen resolution from 4K to 1080p. This is the part there where there's going to be a lot of people who are going to complain about this. And I understand, but when Stadia started, the idea that everybody would be at home using the internet at the same time wasn't really a thing. Now, that being said, I have never, ever had any issues on Google Stadia since the whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing began. I've never had any issues where I felt like, oh man, I bet you that's because everybody's at home playing or watching or streaming Netflix or whatever it is that they're doing. Anyway, it says here, the vast majority of people on desktop or laptop won't notice a significant drop in gameplay quality, but you can choose your data usage options in the Stadia app. So what I think that this means is in the app, if I go into the app, and you know what I ought to do? No, I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to edit this video. But if I go into the app, there's a data usage and performance tab. And if I go into there, I'll get that to go focused. don't know if I can. It's not focusing. I'll just tell you what it says. I have 3 options: best visual quality, balanced, and limited data usage. And I believe what they're saying is that they are going to change the default button to be the middle one, to be balanced. But if you want to, you can then increase it back to the 4K resolution. And I think that's actually very responsible of them, and also still allows us to get the quality that we want. So I've been playing Doom Eternal on my 4K screen here in front of me, and I kind of want to keep playing it at 4K because it looks gorgeous. That being said, if they did have to lower it down to 1080p, I'd be fine with that. It's not a big deal, and I'd be okay. All right, moving on. Like so many people around the world going through this crisis, our support team has been significantly impacted, and our customer support functions are not running at full capacity. Please use our automated help center, and as you give Stadia a try, check out these useful tips for setting up the home environment. Many of you will be new to Stadia, so we've posted a getting started walkthrough, which I will post a link to that in the description down below. They say, have fun, stay safe, and we look forward to playing with you on Stadia. I think that this is awesome. I think it's really gutsy of Google to do this when there's it's going to be very hard for them to deal with the influx of new customers who may not, maybe you have terrible internet. Maybe you have 1 megabit down. And if that's the case, then you probably aren't going to want to use Stadia. But it's free, so people are going to be trying it. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try it only to find out that their internet isn't good enough to have it running. So for Google Stadia to do this now, I think is really, really gutsy. And I'm impressed that they're willing to do this in a time when there is so much congestion on the internet. Although I say that, but I haven't run into it myself. Like, my wife and I were watching Ozark last night. I played Doom Eternal for a couple of hours yesterday. Oh my God, that game is so good. I'm almost to the end. And I haven't run into any issues. But then again, I live in a rural area, and I don't have a lot of other people competing with super high speed stuff because of where I live. Now, if you live in a big city, then maybe your experience won't be as good as mine. But I'm having a blast with it. And now you can try it out for yourself. So don't listen to all of those people out there who have said over and over how horrible Stadia is. Because I'm telling you, the people who've tried it and aren't trying to make a buck by posting negative articles about it, most of those people have said, yeah, it works really damn well. It works way better than I expected. And yes, there is an inherent latency when playing on Google Stadia. There is. I'm not going to lie to you and say that there isn't. There is an inherent latency when you're playing a game on Google Stadia. However, that inherent latency is not enough to really affect me. And I've had a blast playing. I will do one more qualification before I get out of here, and I will say that primarily I play with a Stadia controller, which connects through Wi-Fi to the servers, which gives me a little less latency than you would have if you're using a USB controller. However, my last thing that I'll say, if you try it out and you're like, wow, this looks really nice, I think I want to pick up a Stadia controller, they are for sale, and now you can play Stadia with a Stadia controller and a Chromecast. If you've already got a Chromecast, all you got to do is buy a Stadia controller and you're all set, if it's Chromecast Ultra. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. I will see you guys next time. Just a reminder to anybody who's watching this for the first time, like, subscribe, all that stuff. On Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we record the podcast live right here. All right? Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.